Hey guys, welcome back to God and Country Garage. We got a lot to do today to this Belvedere to get it rolling. Got some tires we got to mount on the rears because they're down, they won't take air. I'd like to get this hood off. We'll probably start with that. I was hoping to paint the underside of it today and putz with other stuff while it's drying, but it's like 36 degrees here in Wisconsin, so it's typical March weather. We got to finish up that fuel line stuff, a couple things under the hood, put the radiator back in. Hopefully that will not leak. Hopefully. We gotta go through all the brakes because this thing's been sitting for a long time and it hasn't been on a road for over 20 years. So we got hoses and springs and shoes and stuff like that. I did buy carpet for it because I figure what's the point of putting the seats and the shifter and everything back in if I'm going to take it back out in the future for the carpet. So we'll get started on this and see if we can't get this thing rolling down the road this weekend. Garage is getting, I want to get this out, some of this stuff going because you can see the Cub. She's in half, so she's taking up half the garage. That's going to be a future thing. We're waiting on parts for that. So let's get started on this piece. I think we'll get this foot ornament and trim off. There he goes. I hit the floor, hopefully. Come out of there. There we go. Perfect. Funnel out of the way. Just kind of crack all these things. Oh my God, that's pretty good. Oh, come on. Leave the back in now. That's something to pivot against. Yep. Oh, good. Oh, we're gonna need something to prop in here, I'm guessing. Huh. What do we put in there? About this. Yeah. It'll work until it don't. Uh-oh. Hello. Whoa, easy now. Oh, don't go through the windshield. All right. Oh, okay. A lot of weight there. Well, now that we got this hood out of the way, I think we should throw some gas in it and see if that electric pump is even going to pump to the front, because I don't want to use a boat tank on here. We got to use that tank. Otherwise, this thing will never feed enough fuel. But I'm not 100% sure that that tank ain't clogged up. So let's put some gas in it. We'll see if that pump will throw some fuel out the front here. Alright, I've always run a mix of high octane. Oh my goodness. Oh, even that's seized up on there. I've always ran high octane and race gas mix, but we're going to put some high octane in first so we don't waste all the race gas. We're going to put a lot in there. If we do have to drop this tank, I don't want it full. Okay, I got about 2 gallons of gas in there, I'd say. Throw this on temporarily. And we'll see if that pump, she squealed a lot before, so I don't know if it's going to be any good, but, oh, sounds way better. Uh-oh. Whoop, whoop. I can hear it. Oh, no. Well, I temporarily rigged her up with a magnet so it wouldn't shoot all over, but, well, safe to say that that tank is clean. Well, I don't know about clean, but it'll flow fuel, which is good. I'm gonna hook that back up to the pump and then run a line from the pump up to the carb, wherever my finger is, right there. Run it up there to the carb, and then we should be done with this fuel system. Oh, we got to put a new filter on there too, but we'll do that real quick. Okay, I got the fuel line on with the new filter. Got her hooked up to the carb. Took the old dust rag off the carb so we don't suck it in. Let's see if we got any kind of juice. Can we bring a little life into her? Oh, it's pretty hard to sit in here right now. All right, let's see. We'll flip on the pump. Whoa. Well, that was a no-go. Let's give her a little choke. It's getting fuel. I can see fuel going into the carb, so let's see what we got. Oh, I guess she wanted a little choke. Oh, let me get in here. Hurt this pedal. Ooh, that starter's gonna be getting hot. Try her again. Let's take the choke back off. Round 2 or 3. Not want to idle though. I almost forgot we had straight high octane, so I threw a couple gallons of race gas in there, and I turned up the choke a little bit, or the idle. Let's see if we can get anything a little better out of it. Carb fire. Burning some oil. Well, we definitely got some tuning to do. I think she might be a little advanced on the timing. I don't know. I've checked it out. It's running, but it ain't quite running right. It does not want to idle, but it's getting more than enough fuel. So we'll putz with it. I got to let this garage clean out. You can see she's getting pretty hazy. We don't want to die of the carbon monoxide in here. So I'm going to open the door for a while, keep the wood stove going, and then we'll work on some other stuff. Hey guys, next morning, and I had to take a break last night. The fumes were so heavy in here that I was getting a headache. I still got a headache this morning. So it's a little warmer today. You can see we got the door open, so hopefully we can get some stuff done. I found some stuff last night. Let me show you. This valve cover was leaking all over that header back there, and I don't know if that's just a flaw in the head. I mean, it seems flat, but and it's a horrible casting. So we're gonna get some new valve cover gaskets. This thing needed a little more timing, so I threw some more timing at it, and all of a sudden, bang, it lit off and it was idling. So it actually ran really good once I figured that out. I think there's the collector underneath might be a little loose or not lined up quite right, because it's every now and then I get a little pop, almost like a, not a backfire, but like a leaking exhaust. But I think we're gonna start out tackling these today. You can see these tires are just trash. There's no good. That, and I was amazed at how easy this drum actually came off, but these shoes really ain't horrible. But I mean, everything in there is leaking. Obviously the wheel cylinder's leaking. The inside of the drum is pretty oily, so we're gonna swap out these tires and then we'll get on these brakes. No fancy tire machine for me. I gotta do this the old way. This thing swapped a lot of dirt tires on my stock car back in the day. I suppose these are gonna be glued on like you wouldn't believe. But we'll see. I'll try to break these beads. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Oh, we got her. There. That's one side. Oh, shit. Can't get this back side down. This bead looks like she's a lot deeper, so this might be a little harder. Sometimes you gotta work it a little and then spin the rim, and then work it a little. I'm feeling lazy, so I'm not doing that. Oh, but I'm gonna have to. Alright. There. Try that. It's moving, it's just the wheel is so dished on the back side. There it goes. Now, get this off. And that. When you pull these tires off, you want to pull them off the more shallow side. You can see the dish is only that deep on this side and like that deep, so we're going to come off the front side. The majority of your wheels are going to be that way, but some aren't. Ouch. Too much junk in here. I wouldn't recommend using this for a nice set of wheels, but these aren't too nice, so while we're doing them on here. Oh yeah, it's the only thing I got. Half. Oh, crap. Easy. Get out of here. I always figure if you're gonna change tires, you might as well put a new valve stem in right away too, because if it's leaking, it'll be a pain in the butt later. There you go. Cut the old one out. This will help getting it in. We got this little valve stem tool here. Stick her through. Put it on. You can just pull with everything you got. Put a little soap on there. It'll make it a lot easier. Which I should have done. But there, it's in. That way we know that valve stem ain't gonna leak. Probably take a wire wheel or some Scotch-Brite and clean this rim up too to make sure it's gonna see. Tires we got are Cooper Cobras. I'd like to put BFGs on here, but they're just a little over budget right now. Plus these wheels are pretty shoddy. So if I do get a nice set of good set of wheels, nice set, then I'll put a nicer set of tires on. But these will be fine. Putting these tires on, I would recommend putting a little bit of dish soap, a lot of dish soap on them. It'll make sliding them on there so much easier. Juice them up, and then they'll slide over the rim much, much easier. You don't need a whole lot, but I mean enough to make her slick. Plus it smells good. Ooh, stuff's cold. It's thick. Like molasses. Oh man, I want pancakes. Great. Wrestle this on as far as possible. There's one side. You don't usually get that lucky with the outside. Oh. Trick is to keep this side down below the bead while you're fighting with it. This route. Oh, you say the hard part's holding it on while you work the other side on. There is a way of sliding this on, but with that bar, but I haven't had any luck with it. Oh my goodness. Why is everything gotta be so difficult? Is it me? I'm just making it difficult? Oh, too big a blade. We're just chasing it around the rim. All right. This is how this is supposed to be used. Oh, this might actually be the first time I've ever gotten that to work. Look at this hanger. Cool. All right. Now we can throw some air at it. Hopefully it'll take air. Oh yeah. There's one. Come on. Oh, that one might be on already. Trick the old pressure. Oh, we got more to go. It's only 29 pounds in there. Oh, come on. Have it your way. It's gotta be loose by now. There. She's just wedged on there, is all. Oh, here's an idea. Honey, you want to donate me a tire changer or even sell me one cheap? I'm your huckleberry because these things suck to change by hand. All right, cool. You got the idea. I got one more to go for the backs. We're not going to do fronts. Probably should, but they're not as bad shape as the back. So we're just going to do fronts for now. You guys are ever working on these Mopars, you got to remember, driver's side is... Here's another thing with these Belvederes. You go to get this tire off, it ain't gonna come off because of these half skirts. You gotta jack the car up and unload the suspension. Watch that jack up. That tire will almost fall off. So you just gotta get a little room in there. We can lower her back down on the stand. Oh man, check out this tire. Wow, the rust coming out of there is ridiculous. Oh, let's do some serious cleaning on this one. Well, that was about as much fun as a broken back, but tires are changed, so it's beautiful out today. So I want to get this hood painted, and I got the little human out here. She wants to help out. This is the smallest redneck of the household, Taylor. Taylor, she's dying to be on a video, so say hi.
Hi.
She's running around helping me wash stuff up, but all right, here's the dilemma.
I found that sick.
Do we take all the time to clean all this up right now while the hood's off? I mean, The bad thing is we're gonna spend a lot of time removing battery tray and all this harness. I mean, not a lot of time, but more than what I got removing this stuff. And then how far do you go? Do you do the whole core support, or, I mean, it'd be nice to spray it all while I'm spraying the hood, but I just don't know that I got that kind of time. Really should be washed. And right now we got the wheels and the brakes off. So you know what? I think we're just gonna paint the underside of the hood and we can rattle can this crap later once we get it cleaned up. Good plan. Oh, she's so strong. Back up. Carry it over to the yard with me. She's picking up the professional paint booth here. You want me to go backwards?
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Okay, follow me. Can you lift it? Stop for a sec. All right, let's roll. Ready? Put it sideways. There we go. Oh my goodness, you're so much help. This is making me up. This is getting me all kinds of time. Don't, you'll break your head. Go. We'll get Taylor doing blowing all the loose paint off, and I'll come through with a wire wheel. And then she can blow it off again. But she wants to help, so here's something she can do. You good for a minute, Taylor? Hey. Are you good?
No.
You good doing this while I go work on something else?
Yeah.
Okay. Got only the finest classic car paint here. Oh wait, nope, tractor and implement gloss white, but hey, it'll work. We're on a tight budget, so underside of the hood, tractor paint will work for now. We'll get some of that mixed up as soon as we're done cleaning the bottom of this hood off and get that sprayed so it can dry.
Okay. Get the wire wheel ready?
Yep. A little bit. Loosen some of it up for you. Well, I don't know if Chip Foose will be calling, but I guess that's good enough for a $15 can of tractor paint. Plus, I mean, it's just much better than it was. It ain't all flaking and rusty. And two things I hate: wiring and painting. I love painting. I hate cleaning up for the painting. Well, as you can see, sun's starting to go down. I think that's going to be enough for today. I'm going to let that thing sit outside and dry. You like my sawhorse there? Yeah, a couple of car tires we took off my wife's Jeep. I think we'll let that hood dry. We're waiting on parts, obviously, all the brake shoes and valve cover gaskets that I mentioned, and some other small stuff to finish this thing up. But maybe tomorrow when I get home from work, we'll start working on the interior. So, see you then. Well, it's a new day. I think we'll get started with seeing what this carpet is like. We got this the other day. I haven't really looked at it yet. Oh, hold on. Come on. Get her out of there. Ooh. Uh-oh. Oh man. Well, okay, well I was gonna start with the interior, but looks like we're gonna have to let this sucker sit outside for a little bit because she's all rolled up. Well, there it is in all its glory. Set it out so it can lay out a little bit. I remember it being thicker last time. It don't even have the hole for the bright and dim thing. All they give you is the plug to put in there. But we'll let it sit out, and I mean, I guess it's okay. It's got padding on the bottom a little bit, but man, this stuff's gotten cheap lately. I will let that sit out, kind of flatten out a little bit before we go to put it in, and then we'll work on something else. I think we'll maybe throw that radiator in. Well, it's a good day. We got parts in finally. Let's see what we all got here. Ooh, valve cover gaskets. We needed those. Stickers and receipts. Oh, there's the breather, because I was missing one. Well, I wasn't missing one, but the one kept coming loose because it was the wrong style. Trans filter gasket, or trans filter and gasket. A new dipstick, because I bent the old tube. Looks like a headlight switch and brake shoes, so we can finally do them brakes. I think we're gonna throw them valve cover gaskets on, because I can't stand, I had rags over this, but I hate leaving stuff open. It's so dusty in this garage, especially if you have a wood stove going. And I don't have it going today, but it's cold in here because I don't know what the deal is with the weather in this state. One day it's 70, the next it's like 42 degrees, so it's chilly in here, but I don't really want to light the wood stove today. So I think we'll start out throwing some of these gaskets on and get this crap covered back up, and then we'll pop this radiator in. And I wanted to wait till I got the valve covers back on before I hooked up them heater hoses, because, you know, they'll be right in the way otherwise. So let's get to throwing some of this crap on. That way we can get at these brakes. And then I think we'll do the transmission filter, because I noticed I pulled this sucker out. I probably shouldn't be running this too long, and there's nothing on there. But the gasket leaks because I took all that linkage and stuff out for that shift cable, so the pan is loose. So let's quit talking and get to working. Whoa. Man, them are stiff. Okay. Oh, there's flakes on everything. That one. I think I'm also going to eliminate these. I don't know. Do you guys still use these? They're okay, but they're in the way of these breathers. And they seem to always come loose. I think I'm just going to find some washers and throw some 1/4 nuts on there and just suck them down that way. So you guys figure these are supposed to be torqued to about 90 foot-pounds? Nope. I don't know, it's gotta be something small, but we're not. Click, click, there you go, see? It's all by the feel. You do have to be real careful with these aluminum valve covers, because especially on these Mopars on the corners here, it's pretty easy to break the corner off if you crank her down too tight. I found some nuts. They're let me know if write in the comments whether you guys would have done it or not. I guess I'll find out eventually, but I put nylocks on them. Is the valve cover gonna get too hot? The headers? Oh, the heat off the headers? And melt the nylon, or? I mean, what do you guys do? Is there a special valve cover nut? Like something with a little knurling on the end or something? Probably gonna have to recheck these after a little bit. Let's see. Oh, see, that one makes me nervous because there, that's tight. They say you don't want to go too tight. It's all by feel. I feel like we're playing with enough fire here. Tick, tick. Click, click. Click, click. Yep, they're good. Okay. Oh, before I forget, throw on this breather. you know, so I can breathe. Oh, it's ugly. Looks like a little street rod style or something. I don't know. Ugh, I hate it already. But it locks on, so I guess whatever, it's good enough. Put this one on this side. All right. Now we could probably put this radiator in. Oh, this poor trans cooler is taking a beating. All right. I'm presuming that this radiator is going to leak, but I ain't got another one. So, are you joking? Oh, the battery cable's in the way. Well, I finished putting on the heater hoses, and I actually went ahead and changed this header gasket because, as you can see, I could hear a little noise, and this one was blown out too. That ain't the worst part though. I don't think that's even where all the noise was coming from. Let me see if I can get you under here and show ya. I haven't noticed until I crawled under here and was checking stuff, and as you can see, thinking that's where the majority of the noise was, so I don't know how to go about fixing that. God, I hate to try to weld a patch on there because the tube is probably so thin that it's just gonna burn through and I'm gonna have even a bigger mess. So theoretically the car will need new headers, but we're not going that far yet. I'm not putting new headers on this car right now. That, and God, I hope that's from the old valve cover gasket leaking. I'm hoping the oil built up on the header and is now dripping off because I've since raised the car up in the front. So I'm hoping that the oil's just running out of the collectors. We put new valve cover gaskets in, like I said. Then I noticed back in here it's all wet. I'm pretty sure that frost plug is leaking, which sucks. This thing needs way more help than I thought. I put a new dipstick tube in it with a new dipstick because the other one was so bent up. Oh, let me show you. From me moving them headers around, I pinched it. So you couldn't get the tube in and out very well. So I kind of thinned her down a little bit trying to slide it in and out, but bad idea. So I figured I'd put a new dipstick tube in it. Here's the dilemma I found with that. The tube is shorter, even though I bought it for a big block Chrysler car. I mean, look at it says, oh, it's got 26 quarts of oil in it. So obviously the dipstick is too long for this application. So what a piece of junk. And I didn't even skimp out. I bought an actual Mopar dipstick tube for a Mopar car from this era with a big block. I mean, I'm not impressed. That and made in Taiwan. I don't know. Dodge is officially, I'm losing hope in it. Not just in their parts nowadays, but God, these electric vehicles they're putting out there, I can't stand them. Electric Challengers and Chargers and with speakers on them making V8 noises. This is going to be the only Mopars, the era, the older Dodge cars and trucks. That's why I'm a Dodge fan. Nothing of the new crap anymore. As far as I'm concerned, new car makers, they're all the same. They're all pretenders junk, and they're just putting out a bunch of crap. But nonetheless, I think next we're gonna get on that oil pan or that transmission pan gasket. I've had this pan hanging on my wall for like 20 years. So I think we're gonna put that pan on, new gasket, new filter, try to seal that up and get that cable mounted underneath there on the tranny. That way we can throw the carpet back in and start putting the interior back together. Not sure how much of this you're gonna be able to see just because I don't have one of them fancy car lifts. So we're limited room under here. Well, come on, I can't even get the gasket to separate. Uh-oh. Oh, there wasn't much in there. Oh, there she goes. A little bit draining. Oh, that fluid looks bad. It is like almost clear. Last bolt out of here. Drop the rest of this pan. There we go. Oh, come on. Glue it on there. Oh. Ouch. Okay. Oh, there she goes. Let's see what we're working with. Ooh. Golly, that's a lot of clutch material in there. Oh no. I hope this tranny's even any good. No. Maybe it's not the worst. It's a lot though. It's more than I'd be hoping for. I'm sure you can probably see all that glitter and grit and everything in there. That's not even close to good. Well, see, that's what a new trans filter should look like. We threw a new Wix trans filter in it. That is the old filter, and I understand that they're gonna be red when you get fluid through them, but that thing is totally gray. It is. She was way beyond due. Oh, let me crawl out of here so I can. That was way beyond due. You can see all the grit and everything down in there. I hope there's some clutches left in this transmission, but one way to find out. Put her back together and try it out. Well, I got the trans pan back in, and let's see, it's probably hard to see, the bracket. I spaced it down. I don't know how I did it last time. It must have bent the edge of the pan over, so I put a couple washers in there to space it down. But I think we're to that point where we put the carpet back in. It's just, man, I never noticed this before, but holy crap, are there like 100 holes in here, and almost none of them lined up with the shifter, so I don't know how the heck I rigged it all together last time. Must have been why I had to rip it out. None of the holes were even close, so I re-drilled one of the holes and oblonged another one. I was going to put nut zerts in there, but all I got's aluminum ones, and I don't want them coming loose and have to take the carpet and everything back out, so I'll just run bolts and nuts on the bottom. Even the seat, I mean, I'm guessing like those are factory seat mount holes, whatever. And I think like this one and this one and that one back there where I had my Jegster seats mounted, but we're gonna have to do a little planning so I ain't punching 100 holes in the carpeting. But I'll go grab it and we'll kind of lay it in there and see what we got. All right, moment of truth. See how horribly this carpet fits. Might not be bad. I don't know. I'm sure there's gonna be some trimming to do. Far, I can't tell. Oh my goodness, it's way too big. Well, that ain't bad there, I guess. Right now, it's not horrible, I guess, actually. That's got to be cut out around that seat bracket. This has got to be all trimmed back. Hanger. Way up there. It is like 100 degrees in this garage. My wife, bless her heart, wanted to make sure it was warm for me. So she stoked up the wood stove, and it is just not even fun. Oh, I'm on top of the gas pedal, that's why. Well, it's actually starting to fit a little better than I figured it would. I trimmed it back here already. You can see once the sill plates are on, they'll cover that. I got to trim the front yet, but I'm trying to get that hump to lay down. So I grabbed a 60-pound chunk of lead from my stock car and a set of honing plates for honing engines out. And I got her laid out. I'm gonna wait for it to collapse a little. I trimmed it out around the throttle pedal there. Well, where the gas pedal used to be. I still got to trim it around right here for the high-low switch, dimmer, I should say. And then this is all got to be trimmed back yet. But I'm gonna maybe let her sit for a little while and try to relax in here so it holds that shape. That way, I think the first thing I'm gonna do is mount that shifter. That way it'll hold it right in the center. And then I'll bolt that in, run the cable and everything. And then that way when I go to, I'll burn the holes from the bottom under the car for the seats. When the seats are bolted in, then I'll make sure to kind of work the carpet back a little and trim it to the door sills. So I'm gonna leave this set up. I think that might be enough for me for tonight. Well, I got home from work, decided to put the old shifter in, and that was fun. Nope, actually it wasn't. Tell you what, 22 or 3 years ago or whatever it was when I put this in, I must have just closed my eyes and with the drill, because nothing lined up. But we cleaned up some of the holes and called on my better half to run the old drill driver while I held the wrench underneath and got her in. And I mean, there we go. She does shifter things. See, that's high gear, and if you want to go into park, gotta pull the old handle. Okay, never mind, still learning. There we go. Now you go to park. See, it's got a reverse lockout. So say you're racing, you gotta pull the handle. Oh, this thing needs to be oiled big time. All right, now you're in drive, right? Say you're low on, you take off. Second, drive. You get to the end, you can bump her into neutral, so you ain't revving the crap out of the engine trying to slow down, but it's got a reverse lockout, so you can't go into reverse. In order to go into reverse, you gotta pull it back into drive, and then pull the handle up. Then you can go into park or reverse or wherever you want. But anyway, that's in. Does the shift things. Got to put the cover on, obviously, yet. I still got the weights in here. I'm going to leave these in here until I get these seats mounted. But before I mount these seats, I'm going to crawl under the old army tank here and on this ice cold floor and finish hooking up the shift cable. That way, pretty sure then everything other than the seat bolts will be done under here for a while. Anything that's complicated anyway. Good thing we do it today because it's a whopping like 48 degrees and it's supposed to be like 32 by this weekend. So, you know, it's only going to get colder and more miserable. So, that being said, I guess I better get under there and start hooking up this cable. You ever notice when you got new carpet? I noticed crawling in and out of here, I was getting every ounce of dirt off this floor onto this new carpet. So I've lately been taking the shoes off. Good thing you don't have smell-o-vision. All right. Well, I think I got the cable completely hooked up, and she was kind of a fight. I don't know how I did this crap when I was younger. It must have been more flexible or something. Let me see if she rolls through the gears. Oh, that should be low one. Second, drive, neutral, and then back to drive and park. And then, oop, wrong one. That should be reverse. Drive, second, first, second, drive, neutral, back to drive, and park. That should be it. It's like every time I crawl under this car, I notice different stuff that I don't know how I did it. Like these wires, like here's your solenoid wire and here's your main starter wire. Both of these should really be clocked up. That way they're not, I mean, look at how close that wire is to the header. It's gonna eventually just burn right through. Every time I accomplish something, it seems like I find something else that I gotta repair that I didn't know was wrong. Well, I guess it's about time we start burning holes in this floor and trying to get these seats mounted. That way we can finish trimming this carpet up. And I'm sure you guys have seen this done probably 200 times on other channels. But took my favorite flathead screwdriver. Not my favorite because it was broken, actually. And I cut it off and sharpened the end. And if you get it nice and hot, it ain't got to be red hot, but I mean, it's got to be hot. You can pop it right through from the bottom. I can tell where the holes were from the bottom of the floor, where the bolts were. So I'm just gonna stick this sucker right through and burn some holes from the bottom. That way the ends of the holes are burnt up where they won't fray anymore and everything. They're like a hard plastic circle almost around it. Otherwise, if you run a drill bit through, you're probably gonna snag the pile of the carpet, and it'll just be like an endless string that you constantly pull and pull and pull. And you're gonna have a big old line in the middle of your carpet where you're gonna see the thread had tore out. Something like that. Hold my screwdriver starting. Now, before I burn the other side, I'm gonna throw this horribly dirty seat in place, bolt her in. That way this side of the carpet will be held down before we go do the other side. Well, there you can see what I was talking about. The holes are nice. They're through the carpet. There's no strings hanging, nothing like that. They're literally hard on the edges. So that ain't gonna fray or anything like that. Easy way to, like I say, get holes in the carpet without snagging the crap out of it. All right. Ooh. Oh, what do we got going on here? Why won't you go through? Okay. Well, both seats are in now, so it's kind of weird. One looks like she's leaning back a little more than the other, but ain't nothing I'm gonna do about that unless you start shimming this thing and all that other crap, which I ain't doing. That it's leaning to the side, so I mean, I don't know. Can we just bend the floor? I don't know. Maybe we'll try to put some shims under there or something. Not the squeegee it had last time. You can see I kind of wiped down the other seat a little bit, see if it would even clean up, and it's okay, but definitely cleaner than this one. So we'll do a whole cleaning thing later. I think that's going to do it for me for tonight. Still got to do the door sills and all the brakes. Maybe patch that header, gear lube. The list goes on. So tonight, I'm done. We'll see you in the morning. Updates. We have breaking updates. I I haven't actually putzed with this car for about 2 days, but I decided to go get some transmission fluid, which, by the way, you ever bought ATF plus 4? It's like $14 a quart at O'Reilly's. But anyway, I went and got 6 quarts of tranny fluid, popped it in there. Transmission works fine. Bumped it through the gears and everything works the way it should on jack stands anyway so far. So that's good news, but here's the bad. Look at the bloodbath under the car. Yeah, there's about $20 worth of tranny fluid under there. Remember that shiny pan gasket I put on, that transmission pan gasket? I guess I didn't realize you have to have the plug torqued to like 9 million foot-pounds, and half of it leaked out while I was in the house taking a break. Come back out, I thought a chicken got massacred under this thing or something. That, and I just can't seem to keep this from leaking back here, and I've come to the conclusion, I put a straight edge on here. That is most definitely, I don't know how, but somebody beat the crap out of that thing with a hammer or something, and it's lower there. So I tried cranking down the valve cover, snap the freaking stud off in the head. So I gotta put a new head in, and of course, pulling the brand new valve cover gasket off, I tore it. So that's junk. So now I got to get another valve cover gasket. I don't know what to do. This is more of a head off repair, but I'm not pulling this head off. I guess brake clean the crap out of it and I don't know, smooge some RTV in there and then tighten the gasket down and hopefully it don't leak. But it's just coating that back header and smoking like crazy. I might as well call this car the Desert Rose because I feel like the Desert Rose band. 1 step forward and 2 steps back. Nobody gets too far like that. But I guess we'll keep plucking away. We'll pop these brakes on real quick. That way we can get these tires mounted back up and try to whittle through all this stupid small crap. We are gonna drive this pile of junk. If it pukes every ounce of fluid out of it, I don't care. I'll drive it and burn it to the ground if I have to. It's become a mission of mine. Now, I know drum brakes can be kind of intimidating to some of you guys, but they're really not that complicated unless they're covered in years and years of crap like this one is. Oh, come on. But they actually, like as far as like drag cars and stuff go, they actually work better. I mean, you got more surface area here. That these things are, you got more surface area, more braking surface area. You know what I'm saying? They just, the bad part is they get hot fast. You know what I'm saying? So if you're around town driving, stuff like that, they don't work as good. It's because they get warm and they fade fast. But if you're just stopping a time or two, like I say, like drag racing, they don't work too bad. Ugh. So we'll get all this crap out of the way. I got all new springs. Actually, ouch, pinched my finger. Injury. Oh, man down. Look, ow, piece of junk. Anyway, if you, what was I saying? I don't even know. Oh, I don't know why, but I only ordered 1 set of hardware when I ordered it. So I had to run to Napa this morning. Usually I go to O'Reilly's, but for whatever reason, Napa seems to have a lot of the old Dodge crap, stuff you wouldn't expect in stock. And O'Reilly didn't even offer a brake shoe hardware kit. So I guess they must have thought every guy out there was running some fabulous Viper disc brake conversion kit on their cars or something. I don't know, but not me. I got the old junk here myself. Also, if you're doing these a word to the wise, do one side at a time. That way you can come from this side, go over on that side and reference it. I mean, I kind of know where all this stuff goes, so I don't necessarily need a reference, but it's kind of nice to, if you get stuck, to go take a look-see-poo and see what you got going on. Why won't this one come off? All right, well, I also got new wheel cylinders, and we're gonna replace the brake hose under there too. So really this stuff's not too bad to do. It's just not your average setup anymore. So some of the stuff to do it is a little different. Oop, there she goes. Like getting these off. There we go. A lot of oil in here. I'm hoping that it's the wheel cylinder that was leaking and not the rear end seal. I mean, if it was the rear end seal, well, I guess she's going to continue to leak because we ain't fixing that. But all right, now that I got these off, we'll get this parking brake cable off of here, and then we'll get to, oh come on, and then we'll get to changing out this wheel cylinder. There we go. I think I'm going to take these drums. They're pretty dirty, so instead of wasting a whole $6 can of brake clean on them, I'm going to waste $12 and heat up my parts washer and wash them that way, because, you know, that's way more brilliant. And I'll find like 36 other things to wash while I'm got it warmed up. All right, cool. All right, when you get your new wheel cylinder, make sure you pull these, I don't know, your wheel cylinder shafts out, because you're gonna need them for your new wheel cylinder. The new one ain't gonna come with them. So I think this one was shot. She looks like she was leaking. So we'll get the new wheel cylinders on and change that hose, and the back brakes should be done. Obviously got to repeat the same thing to the other side. Also with the new brake shoes, here's the new Ray Bestis brake shoes. You can see there's no parking brake, e-brake arm. So I have to remove that clip up there and pop that out and put that on this one. Try to spray this out a little. Ooh, nasty. Well, there's one down. Only got to repeat it 3 more times now. So the good thing is the front one doesn't have the parking brake cable, so that'll ease that up a little. I made a little tool here. Let's see if I can find it. Right here. I made this tool, and if you wedge it in between the spring, you can compress that parking brake cable spring and slide the shoe lever in there. So it seems to help. Okay, front proven to be much more of a battle than the rear. By the way, this is all that was on there when I took that drum off. There was literally nothing back there, so I must have removed it in order to get the brakes freed up. But you see, I can't get the bolts out of the back, or at least that one down in there, because it's right behind the spindle. So I'm gonna have to loosen these 2 bolts and take those 2 completely out, flip the whole plate forward just to get a wrench on there. I don't know if you can see it or not. I've been chipping away on this one, but yeah, that's the nut I gotta loosen. It's completely under dirt. Here, you can probably see the other side a little better what I'm dealing with. It's like the thing must have been in a mud bath or something, because there's a nut in there somewhere. It's literally like mud wasps and mud and grease, and it's like rock hard. I've had to chip it out, so time consuming. Oh, also another interesting little tidbit. I had 2 left front wheel cylinders, so I had to wait for a day to get another right front from the store, so that's great. Well, back brakes and front brakes should be all done. All new springs. Actually, the kit I got from Napa had the wrong springs, so did some dumpster diving back into the garbage to find the old springs because I needed them. I wasn't waiting again. There's only one spring, the lower spring that goes across the adjuster. But anyway, I got those done. I think I'm gonna beckon on my better half here and have her come out and do some brake pumping so I can bleed these things and get these wheels back on. Then there's a couple tiny little things to do yet, and hopefully we can take this sucker for a cruise. It's ridiculously windy today. That, yeah, you can see we had snow a couple days ago, and luckily the majority of it's melted, but it's made my backyard kind of she's a mess. She's wet. So hopefully I can get this car out, because I gotta go all the way around the house just to get it out. I don't know if you remember that from previous videos or not, but we'll get these brakes bled, put this hood back on, and button this thing up, and see what we got. Well, as you can see by the murder scene here, we got the brakes bled. It's got a nice little X pattern on the floor. We'll get these wheels buttoned on here. Oh yeah, that's right. I gotta patch up that header under there that's leaking. Dang her. And then I think we'll throw this hood on. Again, I'll have to recruit some help from my better half. We'll see what we got to work with. Well, I was going to drive the car around and take it for a cruise, but I don't know if you can see this or not. This ground is much too wet, and I'm going to bury this thing. So we're supposed to get more rain tonight, so unfortunately, no ride today. Plus, my helper, she left. My wife left. My daughter is the FFA president here in Seymour, and she's graduating this year, so she's got to turn over the rights to the next president. So I'm not going to get the hood on or take it for a ride, but that don't mean we can't do a garage burnout. I know, weak burnout at best, but she started kicking sideways on me, so. We got a lot of little crap to work out yet, but I mean, after 20 years, it finally works, and it'll drive. I've noticed a couple small things. Radiator, still leaking. It's down for the count, so. I got a new one here, just haven't put it in. Another thing I noticed was going to be this plug wire right down here. She's right on the header, so I might have to cut that off, put a 90-degree boot on there. Probably gonna get some looms on here because this looks like a disaster right now. But front brakes got to be bled a little more, obviously, and like I say, we have no hood, but that'll come. Finally, after 22 years, we got something to work with again. The car runs, moves, drives, stops ish. I gotta re-bleed the front brakes too. Little sketchy. I don't know if the garage floor is just a little slippery or what, but she was pushing front tire. So, but hey, if you guys like what you saw, just keep on watching. I'm gonna keep pushing these videos. This one obviously took much longer than I thought. I'm gonna try to go maybe little less content so I can get one a week done. That way you guys can have more crap to watch. But either way, I love y'all. God bless you, and keep wrenching on them projects. Bye.